Peace. It's the Touchless one. And just gonna make this video. It's actually gonna have a couple of different viewpoints, but it's gonna be Trump shithole countries. That's what I'm gonna put as a title, alright? But it's gonna be referring to that, alright? So alright, as we know, they allegedly Donald Trump made some comments referring to Haitians and African nations as shithole countries during a meeting in the bipartisan group of senators at the White House. It said Democratic aide briefed on Tuesday meeting told NBC News. Trump comments was first reported by the Washington Post, which said nations referred to by Trump as including El Salvador. They say the UN Human Rights Office said the comments in confirmed were shocking and shameful and racist, while Haiti's foreign minister summoned the U.S. charge I can't pronounce that. They say Robin Diallo. They say for clarification, two sources briefed on the conversation said that during the portion of the conversation about Haiti, which came at the top of the exchange that led to the shithole comment, the president questioned the Haitians should be given specific consideration. I wonder why. Now check it out. Now I say, why do we need more Haitians? Take them out, he said. He said, according to the sources, someone else in the room responded. They say, because if you do, it will be obvious why. Alright, so I'll read on some more. They say Trump issued a statement that did not deny the remarks. However, Trump tweeted an apparent denial early Friday. The language used by me at the meeting was tough, but this was not the language used. It came as the senator hurtled into the Oval Office with the president to discuss the path forward on immigration bill. Trump questioned why the United States would want people from a nation such as Haiti while he was being briefed on changes to the visa lottery system. According to the aide, when the group came to discuss immigration from Africa, Trump asked why Africans would want Trump asked why Americans will want immigrations from all these shithole countries, and that the U.S. should have more people coming from places like Norway. Okay, all right. So it says the source familiar with the meeting told NBC News the president was particularly frustrated during the discussion about the visa lottery system. It say a program Trump has railed against repeatedly in the recent months. Another White House source explained the language Trump used as his way of trying to emphasize his support for the merit-based immigration system. Alright, so it says later Thursday railed against Democrats over ongoing talks on an immigration deal. The Democrats seem intent on having people and drugs pour into our country from the southern border, risking thousands of lives in the process. Alright, so I'm gonna stop. Alright, so it's only a little bit more, but I'm gonna stop. Alright, so it says, matter of fact, you know what? Let me go on first. I'm gonna go first because I just saying something. Hold on. Where was I? Alright, so he said pour into our country from the southern border, say risking thousands of lives in the process. It is my duty to protect our lives and safety of all Americans. We must build a great wall, think merit, and end lottery and chain. Say U.S. It say U.S. He wrote. Alright, so it say Botswana government on Friday said Trump has been reprehensible and racist. And said it has summoned the U.S. embassy to clarify whether the nation is regarded as to use Trump word as shithole country. The U.S. Human Rights spokesman Robert Kleinville told reporters that the remarks could potentially damage and disrupt the lives of many people. Say the shocking and shameful remarks legitimize the target of people based on who they are. He said, aiding, I'm sorry, but there's no other word one can use but racist. Haitian and I'm sorry. Oh man, sorry about that. Alright, so the Haitian ambassador to the US, Paul G. Alatador, called Trump comments regrettable. Say regrettable on basis on clinches something to say and stereotypes rather than actual facts. Okay? That's what they do for all of us. They do that for everybody. They use stereotypes instead of natural fact. It's an ambassador underscore in the indelicate timing of the comments, pointing out that Friday is the 8th anniversary of the 2010 earthquake in Haiti, which estimated to have killed well over 200,000 people. Al-Tador said since the report, Trump's remarks have been bombarded by emails from American public apologizing and said he knew Trump comments were not the views of the American public. They say the African Union said it was alarmed by Trump's statement, giving the historical reality of how many Africans arrived in the United States as, oh my God, yeah, here we go. Here we fucking go, yo. Okay, here we fucking go. Here we go now. Here we fucking go, yo. Okay, I wasn't even looking for that, but now I'm fuck that. Now look, do you see this, people? Look, listen. This is what the African Union said. The African Union said it was alarmed by Trump's statements, giving the historical reality of how many Africans arrived in the United States as slaves. Okay, now look, African Union, African people. Look, Black Americans, we're not African. Okay, and Africa is not African. Okay, so I mean, if y'all brought all the countries together and called it Africa, okay, that's what y'all did. But we don't go by it. We're not from Africa. We are Aborigines American. And don't think, and you use that word slave like interjectable when the majority of slaves are the Aborigines in this country, and they weren't slaves; they were prisoners of war. So now, understand this, okay? Now they use that to say, okay, because you got Black Americans there already, then you could bring more Black people there. And listen, Black Americans understand this, what I just read, okay? Understand what they just saying. So that's the reason why a lot of these Africans come here. They come here at the same time. And let me just put this disclaimer out there, right? And before I even go further into it, let me also put this out there. I got this motivation for this video from Mr. Superboy, a brother by the name of Sub-Zero, and also Tariq Nasheed. I checked one of Tariq Nasheed's video out, and he was actually going in on the subject of how Black immigrants come here, and you know what I'm saying, they act like they better than us, at the same time looking down on you. Don't think that they're a slave, but look, most of them say, oh, you a slave. They say the African Union said it was alarmed by Trump's statements, giving the historical reality of how many Africans arrived in the United States as slaves. This statement fouls the face of all accepted behavior and practice, say spokeswoman Iba Kanlandu said, aiding that it was a peculiarly surprising as the United States remark a global example of how immigration gave birth to the nation on strong values of diversity and opportunity. No, this shit ain't give to no fucking diverse. Europeans came here after the first Europeans came here, and they never stopped coming here, and then they brought more people over here. You understand? So understand that the true people of this land is still here. All right, so for you to say, oh, diversity was forced upon this nation. And then the people who come here agree upon it because they trying to get away from there. They leave, like I said, man, I have a problem with, like, once I understood, like, immigration and, like, people. I know some countries is poor. Some people experience things that we can't even think about, like war and all that. I understand all that, and definitely shout out to them people in them countries, man, who live through that. So, I would never be like, ignorant to that fact. I do understand that people just want a chance to survive. I understand that. But if you do somehow happen to migrate here, you should not come here with a mind state of that you should think about the people here. And this is what happens. See, most people come here, like even Black Americans, when they get themselves in these situations to where they can't help, they don't help because they look at it, we got to look at America for a whole. So they're never going to help you with your people. That's the reason we have with President Obama. Even though some people can say otherwise, some people believe that Frank Marshall Davis is Obama father, which would make Obama fucking half Aborigine. Okay, then some people think that his father is the Joker from Kenya, but he wrote the book what it says something to my father, whatever, to Frank Marshall Davis or whatever. But nonetheless, though, this is what a lot of people think in other countries. But then they come here, and then at the same time, now I'm not saying all of them, but for the most part, we don't know what's in everybody's mind, because a lot of people are they can't go right in the white community, so they come in your community, so they keep their mouth shut until they get some type of power, and then you start seeing how people really feel and how people be cooning. All right, so let me go on a little further on this. All right, so we read that right there. I wanted to read this right here about Mia Love. All right, so it's a Republican rep, Mia Love of Utah, the daughter of Haitian immigrants, released a statement saying Trump comments were unkind, divisive, it's a enlisted and fly in the face of our nation values. The nation values, are you serious? Do you know that they used to hang people from trees? Huh? You don't know that, do you? But I guess you don't know that because you don't consider them your people. All right, so it's and demanding an apology from the president. Okay, so now she's demanding an apology. All right, so this is the same lady who, now let me just put this up there because the brother put this up there, and I just want to just put this in there just to show you. Michelle Obama said something, and she was speaking in code. If anybody who catch on to her, you will hear she was speaking in code. She was basically saying that we got black faces in there that don't do shit for us, but your husband didn't do nothing for us neither. But let me go in there. All right, so check it out.
Us saying this.
One side, all men, all white. On the other side, some women, some people of color. I look at that and I go, no wonder. No wonder we struggle. No wonder people don't trust politics.
Our next guest takes issue with those words. Mia Love is a Republican congresswoman from Utah.
And let me tell you something, right? I know people hard on Obama, or I'm hard on Obama as well, and I'm even harder on Michelle Obama because I know some stories that came out about something. But one thing I can say though, she mentioned more hard shit about black Americans than her husband did. When she said that the slaves built the fucking White House, they didn't want to hear that shit. You understand what I'm saying? And Obama would have never made a comment like that. You understand what I'm saying? So sometimes, man, some black Americans, see, that's the reason why they don't want to put a black American as president, because he gonna have some pity for his people. He gonna do something for his people. That's the reason why they won't give you no black American, because they know that even though, check this out, even though a lot of these black motherfuckers is coons, I believe a lot of these people got heart, man. Even Cory Booker, man, and I'm like, I shout out Cory Booker, man, he's a fucking Rhodes Scholar. He also went to Harvard and all this other shit or whatever, though. But I think he did I don't know. I don't think he did a great job in North, but he did something in North. I remember Cory Booker, when Cory Booker was running. Cory Booker used to live in a drug neighborhood, and he was a fucking counselor. He lived in a drug neighborhood, and he used to be jogging in the neighborhood, man. And anybody who from North remember, he used to be on High Street jogging, and he lived on Hawthorne. You know what I'm saying? So definitely, and I'm not trying to say we know, Illuminati, we know how people arm is twisted. We know they only could do but so much. We understand that. I understand that. Okay. But Cory Booker also brought a lot of these fucking immigrants into North too. But nonetheless, though, one thing he did say, he said that they need to stop the war on drugs, which I felt like, yo, that was courageous for him to even go there and say that. You understand what I'm saying? But that's the reason why they won't put none of these Negroes in there as presidents, because they know that one of these Negroes from North America they probably would do something for us. And I'm not saying like, okay, they don't give you reparations or nothing like that, but no, they probably would do something. That's why they keep on alluding to put a real so-called Negro in it. And like I said, if all of the stuff that we believe is true, they mind control, they got clones, that would never happen. But if this stuff is not true, and let's play the devil advocate, and these people are real free thinking people, then that might be a possibility at maybe one time, and you know what I'm saying, maybe at one point in time. But nonetheless, though, we know we done had presidents. We know we done had black. Well, you want to say fuck it? They was Indians. They don't want to tell you that these presidents was motherfucking Aborigines who got into their society and learned their laws and everything. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, man, let me keep it going on this though. All right.
Mia, welcome.
Hi, how are you guys?
Good. Hanging in there.
Good, from my great state of Utah.
Oh, there we go.
How does that make you feel?
Follow the sun. Follow the sun.
Absolutely. You are a black Republican woman. How does it make you feel when you hear those words coming from Michelle Obama?
Well, sadly, this is identity politics. I mean, I don't know if you've noticed. I don't know if she noticed, but I am not white and I am not a male. This is the way that Democrats try to win elections instead of winning on the policies that actually help the American people and unite us. This is absolutely divisive language. It's not language that unifies us as Americans.
Well, Congresswoman, when I see you, I see a Congresswoman. When the Democrats see you, they see a black female. Is that an improvement in the way we see the world, that they segment by race and gender and class and creed, as opposed to saying, hey, we're in this together?
Look,
I think it's incredibly ironic and hypocritical. I mean, Nancy Pelosi will go.
Now let me tell you something, right? I'm not telling you every Haitian that come here is selling out. I'm not telling you that. I know a lot of good Haitian people that, you know what I'm saying, they try to keep their culture or whatever, or they try to definitely, not sell out. I know a lot of people who don't sell out, okay? But understand this, man. When you start trying to get into politics, and you start trying to get into these offices, and you try to think, she worked hard to become a senator or whatever, you had to sell the fuck out to get to that point. You know what I'm saying? Most of these people don't do shit for black people, black Americans. Most of these people hate black Americans. And I'm not saying all Haitians or whatever, because like I said, I know a lot of good Haitian people. I live around Haitian people. And like I said, conversating with them, talking about the history, all that is cool. But you have to understand that a lot of people come here and have a different mind state. Now, out of all the people that come here, the only people I think that really be, and you got Jamaicans that coon too, okay? But honestly, when I was coming up, a lot of motherfuckers was like, yo, they would stick with the black, with us, with black Americans. So I can never say nothing really about Jamaicans like that. Even though, yeah, you got some Jamaicans that cool, because I remember I was doing internship when I was becoming a chef, right? And I had this fucking racist ass fucking Italian chef, and he was cool though, but he was a racist. See, when you in them world, they play these fucking jokes and shit, like racist jokes and shit like that. So when you check a motherfucker on it, they don't like that, because the game's just over with. And we're not gonna talk about sports every day neither, motherfucker. Like, you know what I'm saying? And then that's how they doing these jobs. They sit there and play, either they play gay games, they play racist games, if they could play racist games with you, or they talk about fucking sports all day long. Then they talk about, oh yeah, well, I want to take little Jimmy to go do this. Okay, I don't have no problem with interacting with people, but once you start playing them race games and shit, I can't mask that shit. Like, you know what I'm saying? So, I know what I know, and I went into it. He said something racist about something. He said something. No, what he said. He said that Jamaicans they're different from African Americans. And I said, why? Why you say that? He said, they work hard. I said, motherfucker, I said, we built this fucking country before your ancestors got here. The fuck you mean they work hard? The fuck you talking about? Yo, and he looked at me like, yo. I said, yeah. You don't know that? I said, who made it possible for them to come here? Okay? And then he looked at me. Ever since then, he called me brother. Motherfucker was like, yo, he talked about like black issues, and then he started telling me like, yeah, my best friend was, they start doing that then because they know that you ain't one of them type of Negroes that's gonna sit there. And like I said, I'm not like I'm a cool motherfucker, but don't play gay games with me, and don't play no motherfucking racist games with me. Okay, do not do that. And if you do it a second time, you know what I'm saying, then I'm gonna make actions about it. Either I'm gonna report you to the boss, because that's what they want you to do, or whatever. You can't just start choking nobody up, because you're going to go to jail, and then he's going to sue you, and you're going to be owing him. So you go about the possible steps that you need to go about. You know what I'm saying? Because sometimes, like I said, a lot of time, if you resort to hating somebody or something, people press charges on you, and then you find yourself in more trouble over some anger-related issue or whatever, as opposed to just going about the steps that you can. Because look, if you report it to them and they don't do nothing, then you report somebody else, they don't do nothing, then you file a suit that you being racial harassed in a work environment and it's making you uncomfortable, and you sue them. You understand what I'm saying? And that's how you do it. That's how you get these motherfuckers back. You understand what I'm saying? But like I said, after that, he didn't say nothing racist though. But Tariq Nasheed said something good. He definitely said something. And you know what? And I'm gonna go like I said, I'm bipolar with a lot of these people, because some of these, like Tariq Nasheed do be having some good video, even though he do be cooning sometime, and he like what they say, he like white women or half black women. Okay, that's something different though. But he be going in on some real topics sometimes. He got a good video, and he's talking about how a lot of these motherfucking black immigrants that come here, they thought shit was sweet, but now after Trump made that comment, now they starting to look, now they starting to see that, man, these motherfucking racist than a motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? They thought shit was sweet because you can come here, you can advance, and if you don't look at the problems that African Americans got, then you good in this country. If you ain't got no problem with slavery, if you ain't got no problems with the shit that was done to us in this country and the shit that we still asking for, then you can come here and excel right to the top, because that's what people are doing. That's what capitalism is about. Capitalism is about who can consume the most. You know what I'm saying? Or who can work harder for the most people who capitalizing on it. You know what I'm saying? So, that's how it is here. People come here like, man, but a lot of black people, they like, man, I'm not working no fucking 2 jobs, man. That's the reason why you see a lot of Negroes content with their lifestyle. Because a lot of them know, like, man, I shouldn't even be working. I'm supposed to be getting reparations and shit. I'm supposed to be owning businesses in my neighborhood and employing these people who come here. But I don't think it will work that way. I don't think these people will come here if they knew that you was the one that was going to be employing them. You understand what I'm saying? I don't think that they would want to work with you like that. The only way it will work for them is they have their own businesses and you buying from them. You know what I'm saying? So let me go ahead. Let me keep it going.
Out and actually recruit someone to try and take out the only black Republican female that we have out there. And wait for it, she's actually replacing me with a white male Democrat. So this is about the narrative for them and about winning election through divisive politics instead of uniting people. I don't fit in a box. I don't want to fit in a box that somebody tells me I have to fit into. I am a wife. I'm a mother. I'm a Utahn. I am a black Republican who cares about America and cares about all people. So,
see, and that's another thing. People who live in this country, one generation, because they live one place, they already settled. Just think of it like this, man. People move into your house, and then they complain about how you live. You know what I'm saying? And know the situation of what led up to it, but don't even care about the situation because she probably didn't take no black history, or even know the generic history in this country or whatever. You know what I'm saying? If you know the generic history of this country of so-called black Americans or African Americans or Aboriginal Americans, then you already understand. But like I said, she said she the first black Republican or whatever. So that already tells you. Imagine the ass kissing and the cooning she got to do to be around them, to be around them. I mean, just really think about that. What kind of ass kissing and cooning do you have to do to be around? And how uncomfortable do you feel to be around these people every day? She don't feel comfortable because she's like, man, I'm the first Haitian Republican representative or whatever, and I think I made good for myself in this country or whatever. Ain't do shit for your people, ain't do shit for Haiti, you know what I'm saying? Nothing. So keep it going.
You know, I'm going to continue with my positive, unifying language and try and do everything I can to help our future generations.
Do you feel like they're going with the identity?
And that's what it is. Future generations for people like her. She's a Mormon too. Look. She's a fucking Mormon. She's a Mormon Congress. That right there will tell you something. Like, look, man. Like, if you don't know what a sellout is, just know. And I mean, just know. Like I said, just know what a sellout is. No person with no face like this who married to one of these Europeans could ever speak. Even though you got numerous so-called black people who speak up, like the Joker Van Jones. He be going in sometime, but for the most part, he you know what I'm saying. He do the same thing. Shannon Sharp, what Shannon Sharp do going, he don't have to say nothing about the you know what I'm saying, about the injustice in this country or whatever. He don't have to say nothing about that, but he do. You know what I'm saying? Whether or not he got a white woman or not, though, I know, like I said, he be going in. But like a lot of times when you in these interracial marriages, the women treat the men like pets, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, you ever see them, like, they treat them like pets. And then when you don't do what they do, they have a fucking tantrum with you or whatever. They just basically, for the most part, try to control your fucking life, man. And try to make sure you're doing everything according to what they think is right. So they basically raising you or whatever. And that's why I see a lot of shit or whatever. And like I said, I mean, I'm not saying, look, I think that everybody should stay with everybody. I'm not a big fan of interracial couples or whatever though, but I guess listen, I guess at some point in time people choose to fall in love with who they fall in love with. So you gotta always look at that as a disclaimer. But a lot of these people be cooning from the start. So let's move on, man. Alright, so we already read that. We see what these African, now check this out, right? Let me see what was that. So, the man Puffy, he donated some money to Africa. Hold on, let me see if this gonna pull up on this one. Let's see, Usha him in French Montana, right? Now, here you go, right here. Now check this out. Now look, he donates a 1 million. French Montana is dope. Now remember, French Montana is a Moroccan. Okay, remember that's North Africa. Okay, now understand this, right? All the money French Montana came here and made off of the black community, off of hijacking our music, off of hijacking our music and hijacking our culture, because that's our culture. You know what I'm saying? Fitted hats and chains and all that shit, that's us, man. So motherfuckers can say whatever they want to say. We made this shit look good. So I gotta be proud of that, because the stuff that we do, we gotta claim that. We can't be like, oh well, this is everybody. Okay, it is everybody, but this is my shit. You understand what I'm saying? This is our shit. This is our style. You know, whatever Moroccan style is something totally different. But nonetheless, let's go on. So, and Puff, your boy Puffy, right? So they sends a 1 million check to, let me see, let me read it. All right, so here you go. French Montana ain't keeping $1 of Puff generous Christmas bonus for himself. They say Remy Boy Monty was given an epic Christmas gift by Fatty Wapa. That's hold up. That's not. So, all right, here you go. It say, but the rapper who received the most valuable present was French Montana, who was given not a car or a chain, but a check for $1 million by by his boss at Bad Boy Records, Sean Puffy Combs. All right. So it say, however, TMZ now reports that French is not spending any of the money on himself. Instead, he's regifting the entire $1 million to his own charity, which he recently started in South Bronx, funded to help schools and young kids. It say, if the news is true, major props to French for giving such a huge sum of nothing. And you know what? Hold up. Let me see something. Let me make sure that's what it is, because I seen something. No, I seen that they were sending this shit to Africa. But let me see something. It said, hold up. Now he's saying he's sending it to South Bronx. All right. It say for the high school kids and the young kids. Now if he's doing that, shout out to him. I'm not, and I'm not gonna be ignorant about it or whatever. I know I'll be hard on a lot of these motherfuckers or whatever though. But if that's the case, I heard that they was giving the shit to Africa. So let me go further in. This might not even be the article. I thought this was the article. Let me try it again. So hold up. Let me see if I can find that article. Yeah, see? It say French, bro. Alright, there you go right there. So he donated 100,000 to Uganda. Alright, now look, I can't really even go in on him, because if the brother if he did donate $1 million to the people in South Bronx, to the young kids up there, and shout out to him. I cannot even go on this. All right, so I gotta actually give his brother props, because at least he did donate some money to his community or whatever. But he should. He done coach and vulture your whole style. He done came here, coke boys, sold drugs to your people, and then these clowns, these black devils, are the same niggas who, oh man, they can be bought. They can be bought and they can be used to trade against your own community by selling drugs, because another person come into the country and then they got all this money, and then these niggas broke and they want to get on board, so they take the shit. So it's a lot, man. But if this brother did do that, then I can't even go in on him, man. So let me just definitely apologize what I'm saying, but fuck that. I mean, like I said, at the end of the day, man, you know what I'm saying? A lot of these niggas then destroyed your neighborhood, so they should just do something. So, alright, so let me see something. So we already know. So let's go in on something. I'm just gonna make it a video about some random shit. So Oprah opened the school for girls in South Africa. Now she did this a couple years ago, so this is not new news, right? But my thing is this, right? Why don't none of these people donate nothing back to us, man? In Chicago's fucked up. Don't nobody do shit for Chicago. Ain't nobody got no programs for the boys in Chicago. I mean, maybe they do, but I don't know. Do she got programs for the boys in Chicago? You know what I'm saying? And that's the whole thing with that whole Me Too shit, right? Look, I know a lot of women they do experience like sexual harassment. Like young girls who walk through blocks, they do get harassed by boys constantly, day in and day out. And that is true. That is true, you know what I'm saying? But that whole thing where a woman go over somebody's house by themselves. The woman go over the house, nobody forced the woman to come in, the woman came in on her own, then she sits in the house or whatever, and then something happens, and she said, oh, well, I didn't want that to happen, and that's rape. Yo, I'm just saying, man. Like, come on, man. And that's the thing, man. The legal system is just like, it's so predatorial, foul. Because the same thing Tupac was. He went to school for grabbing a woman's butt that gave him oral sex. You know what I'm saying? Or fellatio, or whatever they call it. You know what I'm saying? But, that's what I'm saying. Like, but nonetheless, though, I know I'm jumping off the topic a little bit, but you don't need to send no money to Africa, okay? Because Africa got more billionaires than we got, okay? Africa got way more billionaires. This is Mike Adoniga, okay, Nigerian businessman. He worth 10 billion, okay. This is a key, I can't pronounce it. Dangote, another Nigerian, 14 billion, okay. South African, 66 billion, okay. Now, when have any of these people sent any money over here to help us? South African, 6.2 billion. South African, 5.3 billion. Egyptian, 4.1 billion. Swazi, I don't know what the fuck that's at, 3.7 billion. It says, all right, now look, check this out. What's this? And they put the shit. Now she only got 2.8 billion, but you got billionaires in Africa. You got more than 10 billionaires. Algerian, 3.1 billion. Another Egyptian, 3 billion. Now, all these people got more money than Oprah. So why would she make a school over there? Why don't nobody do nothing for the Negroes in this country? Even your own black politicians, and like I said, and that go for even the people who come here from other countries or whatever. You know what I'm saying? That was my whole influence of making a video, because, you know, like I said, man, a lot of people come here, a lot of blacks come here, they look at you like you a damn fool. Like, man, you supposed to have more than we have. They don't understand. They don't understand that when they got here, the war on drugs just happened. The blacks who was living good is the blacks who still living good now. But most of the inner city blacks are the people who moved from the South because they experienced racism down there from Europeans who just got this country or whatever, and they migrated to the North. When they got in the North, it was not enough jobs up here, and they was very partial with the jobs, in which some people had to go in the projects, and some people, it's a lot of different stories, man, of what happened or whatever. But these people don't understand, because they come here with a different mind state. They come here to be all they can be. They want to be the first one in their family to say, oh, what's this or whatever. So they don't have no problem with the political issues in this country or whatever. You know what I'm saying? And that's what you got to understand. Even though you do got black politicians like this lady right here, she ain't no African American. And she ain't thinking black for everybody, because she like, oh, well, the same way I got it, the same way everybody else can get it. And this is what people think. Oh, well, because I got it, then you got the same opportunity to do it. And this is how the same people tell you. You know what I'm saying? Because I got it, you got the same opportunity. You understand? But that's not true. And that's sad that even somebody of Haitian descent will be acting like this. Because how can you come here and act like you better than the Negroes here? And this is what happens, man. A lot of people come here, they look at you, even though for them to be the way they are is basically like smacking the face to all the black freedom fighters. So everybody who tried to change the system or make the system better, and who did make changes in the system to allow people to come here. So before I get off, I want to touch on one thing before I get off. All right, so look. Check this out. 19, I believe it's 65. Alright, so let's go. I'm gonna look on Wiki links. I don't need to really, I just need a little brief information on it. Alright, so it's the Immigration and Nationality Act of 1965. It said the Immigration and Nationality Act of 1965. It says enacted June 30, 1968, known as the Hart-Celler Act. It say changed the way quota was allocated by ending the national origin formula that has been in place in the United States since the Emergency Quota Act of 1921. It's a Representative Emmanuel Celler of New York proposed the bill. Senator Phil Hart of Michigan co-sponsored it, and Senator Ted Kennedy of Massachusetts helped to promote it. All right. So this is the act that basically allowed a lot of immigrants to come in. Hold up. Let me see something. Hold up. Let me read this. The Hart-Celler Act abolished the quota system based on national origins that has been American immigration policy since 1920. The 1965 Act marked a change from a past United U.S. policy which have discriminated against non-Northern Europeans. All right, so they was only letting Northern Europeans into this country. Okay, it say, and that's the reason why there's so much racism. It say in removing racial and national barriers, the act would significantly, unintentionally alter the demographic mix in the U.S. Okay. It say the new law maintained per country limits. It say, but also created preference visa categories that focus on immigration skills and family relationships with citizens and U.S. residents. The bill set numerical restrictions on visas at 170,000 per year. So they was letting 170,000 people over here per year. They say with a per country of origin quota. However, immediately relatives of the U.S. citizens and special immigrants had no restrictions. All right. So we see provision. Wage under certification. We see something. You know what? I ain't gonna go into that, but y'all see what's going on, man. And like I said, man, what Trump said pissed them people off because them people thought that they was better than us. But now that they get an opportunity to see racism in first, you know what I'm saying, in first person view, then they understand it. You know what I'm saying? And that's what happened. A lot of these same black people like Mia Love, if she was here back in the 1920s or any of this other time that all this racial shit was going on, she could have been hung on a fucking tree too. So for anybody to come in and say, oh, but I'm not African American, I'm Asian or whatever, you know what I'm saying, to think that you different or anybody else, and any Africans come here and think because they sit here and they want to excel at colonialism. So when I mean excel at colonialism is learn everything that these Europeans have to offer. Now I know you study the world, but everything is not valid to the point to where you have to sit there and learn everything and I gotta get a 4.0 and all right, I got a perfect 4.0. Listen, I ain't got no perfect 4.0. I'm not a perfectionist at nobody doctrine or nobody curriculum. I'm not trying to perfect nobody curriculum unless it's something that's really, you know what I'm saying, that's really serious or whatever. But nonetheless, though, I'm not trying to perfect nobody curriculum. I derive information and then I spit that information according to how I want to relate or whatever, or how I interpreted it. So that's you know, I'm about to end this video, but yeah, man, that's he said shithole countries or whatever. People got mad, but hey, man, that's racism. And then all these people be walking up to me talking about, oh man, Trump, man, oh man, man, listen. I tell them like this: I'm an Aborigine. You better talk about Andrew Jackson. You better talk about Thomas Jefferson. You better talk about all these people. See, they know all these people had slaves. So you worrying about fucking President Trump? Even though President Trump do got slaves, these are slaves under voluntary compliance. And maybe the slaves that Thomas Jefferson had was under voluntary compliance. But motherfuckers say, oh, he's the worst president because he's saying all this racist shit. But you had fucking presidents that had slaves. So what worse is Trump than any of the other motherfuckers who had slaves? So with that said, I'm the Tonsils. I'm out. Peace.